What is going on, IF Warriors? It's your boy Edward V, and today we're going to revisit fasting applications. Have they evolved to something that is useful? I've done a video about just fasting applications in general, but touching on one of the more popular ones at the time. But this was about 2 years ago, so let's revisit that and see where I stand now. Stay tuned. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about fasting applications and if they have any application to your everyday life. One thing that I've noticed is that a lot of people have taken to fasting applications. One of the more popular ones being Zero, for example. A lot of people have taken to that fasting application, and that is the one that I touched on 2 years ago when I was kind of doing a broad summary on these different fasting applications. I tried that one. I didn't think at that time that it was necessary, and Zero felt a little bit bare bones. I didn't see anything special about Zero that would make me want to pick up my phone to connect my whole fasting process to a device. And at that time, I asked my audience if anyone was programming a fasting application or working on a fasting application to hit me up and let me know, so that maybe there can be some brainstorming or something to just give it more of an something that it needed, that it was missing. And I think that over time, they started to understand their place in being an application for fasting and knowing that people aren't going to go on it, stop their fast, start their fast, stop and start, stop and start. It just didn't seem natural when fasting was one of the most natural things you can do, and it's just not eating. It's something that is very simple. Do you need to tell something that you're not eating and then tell something that you're eating again? So I think that's where it was. There was a fault there. And then also, what was the purpose of it? What was the connective tissue that made it worthwhile? I think that now, after all that time, after 2 years of evolving the entire process of creating an application for fasting, I think they're much better now, as proven by all the people that use it. I've seen so many people use it, even though I didn't think it would get to the point where it's useful. But that brings me to our sponsor for this video. And you guys know that I rarely do sponsors. I have a handful. You can count them in your hand how many sponsors I actually have. And I felt that this particular application did it for me, got me to that point where I can see the practical use of this application and why someone would want to have an application that connects to their fasting protocol. And this fasting application is called Do Fasting. And what it does is it connects everything together. So instead of you, for example, having to find your meals on MyFitnessPal and then having to find your workouts on a workout application, this has workouts in the application, meal suggestions in the application. And if you are clicking on all of those things, it's connecting everything to that application and also connecting it to your fasting. So if you're fasting, for example, you can tell it that you want to do a 16-8 fast and you want to do it from 2:30 to 6:30. When you do that, it automatically triggers the eating window and stops the eating window and puts you into the fast every single day. You don't have to go into it and click it off and click it on, click it off. You don't have to do that. It automatically does that. What you can do is go in there and pause it. You can pause the whole process. So if you, for example, aren't going to fast on Saturday, you can pause it for Saturday and then unpause it starting on Sunday, and then it'll just keep doing it, knowing that you are eating from those times, which makes perfect sense to me because that is your fasting time frame. It kind of also holds you accountable because you want those metrics to be realistic. So when you're looking at the data, you want it all to fit into place. So you're going to do your fast. It kind of makes you want to do your fast even more. So if you wanted that extra oomph of motivation that comes from a different place, and not just this channel and somewhere else, just that extra, you can get it from this app, kind of like giving you that feeling. It's in the background doing this, turning off, turning on, turning off, turning on of your eating versus your fasting time frame. Now, there is a caveat to this application that it's not a free application, but bear with me, it's literally $1.25 or $3 depending on what plan you select. If you have like a 3-month plan, it's like $3. If you have a 1-year plan, it's like $1 a week. It'll charge you for 3 months in advance, but it'll be $3 a week compressed into that time frame. It's like, instead of getting that cup of coffee, you save it and now you have the money for this application. 1 cup of coffee a week that you don't drink from Starbucks, it gives you the amount that you need for this application. So I think that because it's so chock full and so interconnected with everything, the workouts come in and you can do different workouts for different weeks, and there's different meals that they give you suggestions for you to cook and give you the ingredients and all that stuff. And it has that interlocking thing of the fasting window, and it connects everything. It knows how much you ate if you use the suggested. It tracks your weight. It gives you a calendar. It tells you the days that you fasted. It tells you the days that you worked out. It has it all in one package. So I would say that Do Fasting is probably where it would need to be for it to be worth your while. So if you want to go ahead and use Do Fasting, I will go ahead and put the link down in the description below. You can click on it. It'll ask you some questions about your weight, your height, if you're an expert in intermittent fasting, if you're a beginner, you skip breakfast, if you don't. It'll ask you all those questions so that it can tailor the best protocol and best time frame based on your response to those questions. And it was pretty accurate in terms of what I needed for myself, just to see, like, I already know what my protocols are, but I wanted to see if I answer those questions, will they give me the time frames and the actual protocol that I like based on my response, and it was very accurate. So if you want to go ahead and test out Do Fasting, link will be down in the description below. Has my mind changed on fasting applications? It has evolved slightly. It has slightly evolved, and I feel that as long as it has a broader thing than just pausing and starting a fasting window, and it makes it make sense, then yeah, it's worth your while. And Do Fasting, I think, is one of the applications that do that, which is why I agreed to do this sponsorship for them after rigorously testing it for about 2 to 3 weeks. I wanted to really feel what this application can do. So if you guys want it, link it down in the description. And of course, as always, I want to thank my patrons for my Patreon. I'm going to go ahead and put their names right up here. And as always, guys, I'll see you on Wednesday for another FAQ. Peace!